Speaking of raw dog.
Yeah.
All right. I see. Oh, no.
Hello and welcome to another Woodshop podcast with
I don't
Mike
like
Coffey
the-
of Coffee
the-
Custom Builds,
You
Daniel
can see
Dunlap
skin.
of
I
Daniel
don't
Dunlap Woodworks, and Peter Kapar of Petrie's Workshop. You can find us all as well as the podcast on Instagram and YouTube.
Bienvenue dans l'épisode 109 of another Woodshop podcast. We have Pat Lapp in the house.
Salut!
I just did the intro in French, by the way. You guys look very confused.
I didn't know what was happening here. I blacked out. Pete's in French. I don't know what's going on.
Pat, how was my French?
No, that was perfect, man.
Oh, yeah!
Was it? Oh, no.
Sure. Yeah.
Pat, I forgot to tell you before the show, we actually only make fun of anything Pete does on the show. So you had actually needed to attack him. So
You had to attack me.
Yeah, no.
I'm
Sorry,
still
but
confused.
it was great.
You sound like a Polish guy said it.
Oh, hey, I don't know if you heard, but we have Pat Lapp, official on the show tonight. He's
French
joining
Pat
us.
from
French
Netflix.
Pat, Canadian Pat from Netflix.
Oh, Canadian
Canadian
Pat.
Pat.
I like
So
French
if you
better.
No, he's Canadian Pat.
But if you say French, he might be in Louisiana or something.
Pat, I got to tell you,
Right.
I was last night
Crawfish.
was my son had a little league game,
Crawfish, Pat.
and my son's cousins, they're all my nephews, they're all on the little league team, and they all love you. They love Canadian Pat, like legit. I was like, hey guys, guess
that's
what?
cute.
Canadian Pat's going to be on the show tomorrow night, and they all think I'm a superhero, but it's really you. So anyway, big thanks for coming on the show. It makes me
You
look
know
like a cool
him?
uncle. I know it is like, you know him. You know him. I was like, I don't, but he smells wonderful. So anyway, this week, so big thanks.
No, you could
Big
tell him
thanks.
that you bumped bellies once.
Yeah, we did bump bellies
Yeah.
once out in New York, and if someone
think-
didn't
I
stop
think it's
us,
safe to
we
say
probably
you
would have
know him.
kissed. Yeah, I know Pat. Pat's great. So
You
yeah,
don't
we
just
got
belly
Pat.
bump strangers.
Well, if you have good comedic timing, you do.
Yeah.
Mike,
Or if you
someone
live in
is-
Nebraska.
Mike, if someone just got out of prison and they don't know who Canadian Pat is, can you
Yeah,
give us
Pat-
like a little like who's who of
Pat
of
is
Pat
a
Lapp?
world-renowned turner on the internet. He is a visual comedy gag master, and he is on a TV show on Netflix called Making Fun with some guys. I mean, we've had Pat on the show. We did a big group meetup here. We had all the guys from Making Fun on the show, but Pat is, quickly becoming a star because of Making Fun.
For S and G's, shies and giggles.
Yeah.
When I reposted a story earlier this week and I tagged Pat, I opened up the GIF section on IG and I just
He's
typed
got his
in
own.
You
Pat
have
Lapp,
your own gifts.
and there's a bunch of Pat Lapp gifs.
That was my
Yeah.
question. We'll save that. Well, you want to tell us about the gifts?
I made that myself, so yeah.
You can
I-
upload them?
What?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And just on
Brilliant.
Gifly, like, or what? Like, how'd you upload it? I need to know the science. You can tell us after
The
the fact.
internet.
It's the
Yeah.
gift that keeps on gifting.
The only reason we're asking Pat is because we have a GIF of Pete sitting there like this, and pierogies hit him in the face.
No, we have an idea of a GIF.
It's an
I haven't
idea.
made the GIF a thing yet.
We trademarked it.
No, it's ours. We have to act like it's real so no one steals it, Dan.
Oh, okay.
no.
Sorry.
Yeah, but seriously, how did you do that? Enlighten
Yeah.
us.
Normally, I would export a clip from Premiere or something like that, import it in Photoshop, and export it as a GIF. And
That's
that's
it. How do you put it on Instagram?
You upload it on Giphy,
Oh, okay.
and then
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
is that
because
where
they
they
source
pull
all
all-
of it from there. That's where they pull it from.
Oh,
okay, that
smart.
makes sense.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
You're the smartest man in the room. Good job, Pat.
Alright.
So
You
hey,
never
real
want to
quick-
be the smartest man in the room. That's what I hear.
No.
That's
I
why
didn't
I'm.
come for
That's
this
why
trick.
I'm
so
who I
much.
am.
Let's real quick before we get too much further. I wanted to thank the patrons. Big thank you to all our patrons who support the show. You guys are amazing. We got a new patron. His name's Ryan Brown. So big thank you to you for joining the Meh Army. We hope you wear that name with a badge of courage. I don't know what you do with it, but anyway, thanks for joining the Patreon family. We really appreciate you.
I just
very much.
picture
that
him
back
walking
with a
around
shirt.
town with a badge on his shirt.
Yeah, it just
Meh
says
Army.
the Meh Army. Yeah, he's like
I'm
he's
with
a
the Meh
cor-
Army.
He's a
That'd be good.
corporal
It's
in the Meh
three-dimensional.
Army, so-
Very heavy. Hugs on a shirt.
Private first class.
private first class in the Meh
Yeah, let's
Army.
calm down
Reporting
with the corporal.
for duty, sir. No, we No, yeah, big thanks to our patrons. You guys are awesome. We aren't going to do reviews this week because we got Pat on the show. We got much bigger fish to fry than
We're
reviews.
gonna review Pat.
But we are going to play
French
this
fish.
song
Oh, Black Betty, Ram Lamb.
because we have to play it every week, and that's the song we play when we have reviews, but we don't have a review this week. It's a really weird
We have
system. If we
reviews.
don't-
We're just not going to do them.
we're going to ignore them like income taxes. The next thing we usually go into is I don't know.
Was I supposed to ignore those?
No, the next thing we're going to go into is what's on our bench. We have to get sung into this by Dan actually wrote this song almost 15 years ago to the day. And thankfully he started doing a podcast so it would be usable. And it's this song right here.
What's on my bench?
Thank you, Dan. We're really glad that
That does it for me.
we're really glad that you were writing songs so long ago and it worked for the show. So I think I want to throw it first to Pete because I
Damn it.
haven't really talked to Pete much. Oh, I meant Dan.
Nope.
I'll go first.
All right.
Oh my God.
What you got going on?
It's been 2 weeks. It feels like it's been 4 days. I don't know. Since we got back from Austin. So we're all in Austin except Pat. Pat was there in spirit. We were in Austin for Rubio and Festool.
Austin, France, or
Austin. Yeah, Austin, Quebec.
Quebec.
Yeah, not to be confused with Austin, Texas.
Beautiful up there.
I hate to say it, but Austin, Quebec, better barbecue. Very good brisket
Oof.
that I had there.
Oh my goodness.
And we were basically there to do a makers challenge. They split us up. There's 14 makers, split us up into 2 teams, and basically one team made a better table.
Was there 14? I thought there were 12.
I think it was 14.
All right.
It was 13, and there was a 7 and a 6, I think, going on.
Oh, was there? Oh, I thought Jeff and Jess were like
It's not important. You're right.
Doesn't
You know
matter.
what? That
They're two
does make
teams.
sense. Nope, you're right. That's what they did.
Yeah.
It was 7 and 7. You're right.
Yeah. So one team made a table, the other team made a superior table, and they're being auctioned off for charity now. And all the proceeds are going to Lucas and his family over at Lighthouse Boston. There is an auction. I'm actually, I'm going to include the link in our show
Yeah.
notes.
Yeah, put it in there.
So you guys can bid for the next, I think 8 days we have left. And the tables are ready, the numbers are going up, but you can own one of these beautiful tables. And, there was a lot of smack talk going on the whole time because there's a lot of personalities in that room. But there's some really nice pieces of furniture you can get. So if you want to enter or share it on any social media, all the proceeds are going to, a great cause.
A good cause.
Very good cause. So Lucas and his family, just to give you a little background, they're having some medical issues with one of their kids, and medical bills, they do add up. So any little bit we can help them with is great. I'm also going to drop in their GoFundMe as well. So help out in any way you can, or at least share it. That's the least we can do. And so aside from that, that was a great trip. We were on a very tight schedule there. I was very tired a lot of the time, and all of us were pretty hungover at least one of the days. For at least the first half of the day. I think we all, no matter how we felt that morning, by 11 o'clock or lunch hit, we were back to normal because the food was just it was outstanding. We saw one of the greatest sunset we've ever seen in our lives. That was pretty great. Because remember that
beautiful.
Up in that mountain?
Absolutely. Yes.
Also saw homes that cost more than we're going to make in a lifetime. That was amazing. But aside from that, it's just been a lot of cleaning up in a shop. I've been doing some administrative behind the scenes stuff. I just keep ignoring things on my desk, and I keep working downstairs. And then when I come up here, I'm like, I don't want to deal with this. And I walk away. So I've been just trying to catch up on that. And the ice climbing tool holds are almost done. So those are going to be done this weekend. They're going to be out of my shop and hopefully for good. And if they do come back, they're going to come back at a substantially increased rate. With a vengeance, literally. So I can actually afford to hire people to do it for me, basically. Aside from that, while we're out in Austin, we got to see somebody else's shop. It was it Growler?
Growler Domestics.
Yeah, Growler
Jordan
Domestics.
with Growler Domestics. Jordan's
that was
really
fun.
like Jordan a lot.
Oh my God, he's so nice.
That was fun.
So
that was a good little sidestep.
Detour. Detour.
Yeah,
detour.
Little detour. Yeah, we get to hang out there, and
They forced us to take a shot of whiskey. It was.
You know what? And
it
really made me question, I don't have whiskey in the shop. So I should just have a bottle for when people come over.
Right?
Not for when we're doing
fingers are always getting in the way. Slam some
fingers.
whiskey and make some cuts.
That's fine. You do it at the end of the day.
That's why I have a saw stop. Shh, stop it.
But like I would give people
Shoot.
beers, like he had like whiskey and local whiskey too, nonetheless. So I need to
was
do that.
good.
Aside from that, basically just I've been throwing stuff out. Spring cleaning is in full like mode, whatever. I've been throwing out manuals, which there's apparently a very
Why would you do that on Cinco de Mayo? Manuel never did anything to you.
Manuel out. There's apparently a very split group out there.
That was a good joke, and nobody like.
Si, senor.
Come on.
I was drinking. Sorry.
Yeah, that was very good. Dan, that's my laugh for you. Not acting. That was very, very funny. But there's apparently a split group of people that hold on and hoard their manuals for all of their tools, and people that just like go like, oh yeah, I have a PDF on my iCloud because they're from space.
I have the internet.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I
hoard all mine on the internet.
I kept 5.
Yeah.
It was for all the big tools in my shop. Everything else just got tossed. But yeah, just been cleaning up, tossing crap out of the shop, out of the shed, and honestly, just been doing a lot of landscaping. It's perfect time of the year. It is not hot and it is not cold. I get to just run out there with jeans on and not get poison ivy and get all the stuff done. So a lot of landscaping. Not
Speaking
a lot
of poison ivy.
But Dan, how about you? Dan, go. Dan.
No. Speaking of poison ivy, didn't you like go gung ho on your hill of death and swampiness?
Well, it's not swampy. It's just the swamp is down below.
Yeah.
Preserved wetlands.
Swamps are always down below. You know what I mean?
No, I've been like tearing out all these vines because I have all these vines killing all my trees along the back of the property, and I just wanted to get rid of them. So I went in there and no poison oak, a lot of scratches and stuff because it's like wild roses with thorns. Super fun. I had like a crazy splinter.
Every rose has its thorn.
Yeah, like I had this big like blister from when I hit my hand on a rock while I was out there. I'm pretty sure I may have fractured my finger, but put some sawdust in it. It'll be fine. But yeah, Dan, how about you? What did you do the last 2 weeks? It's been 2 weeks.
I ain't done jack.
Jack? Okay, who's Jack?
Well, it's not Pat.
You haven't done Jack or Pat. Okay.
No. I haven't done Jack. I've done Pat.
Thank you.
Etsy's keeping me above water. I do have a lot of larger projects on my docket, and that's actually something I want to talk about in the Once on My Bench segment here. So Etsy's doing really, really well for me, really well, and it's just growing. I'm seeing the trend go upward. So one of the things that Etsy has is you can get like a graph, and you can see how your store is trending, and mine's trending up every month, which is fan-freaking-tastic. And I had a little conversation with my wife actually just last night, and we decided that it'd probably be best if I stopped taking client commissions after I get done with the ones that I have on the docket, and just focus on my Etsy store, and then start building content around personal remodeling. I'm gonna remodel my kitchen. I'm gonna remodel my whole house, really, and just making content around making stuff for myself, and hopefully that frees up a little time for me to get back into YouTube and make better all around content, because I feel like my content is just really struggling right now because it's a whole lot of like bow ties and inserts, and nobody wants to see that over and over and over. And it's really hard. Well, it's really hard. Well, yeah, TikTok. Don't get me started on TikTok. It's really hard to make that type of content look fresh and unique week after week, day after day. So I'm excited about the change. So we'll see where that goes. But like Pete said,
solves your space issue too.
It does. Yeah. It does solve the space issue. Yes. As a matter of fact, yes. It's one of the things we talked about. I don't have to worry about getting a bigger shop, so that's nice. That's something that's been stressing me out a lot lately. I've been taking on these bigger projects. For instance, I have to make 4 pocket doors for a client that are going to be 10 foot by 6 foot. 4 of these things, pocket doors. They're going to be hung from a track. These things
they're only going to be, but you didn't tell everyone they're only going to be 1/4 of an inch thick.
No, they're gonna be an inch and a half thick.
It's not humid.
There's this. Yeah.
They're gonna be an inch and a half thick. I'm gonna laminate 2 10-foot by 4-foot.
Excuse me.
Jesus.
Full stop.
I thought I was bad when I sneezed.
Pete pooped his pants. He has to go change.
Pat sneezed.
You're gonna clean this mess.
Who's gonna clean this mess?
Who's gonna clean this mess?
Anyways, these pocket doors, I did a little math. They're going to be roughly about 300 to 350 pounds a piece, and they're going to be hanging from a track. So it's going to be wild. Yeah. And like Pete said, we got back from Austin. I forgot where I was at. First of all, Pat just like threw me
doors, and I think all of us went white.
No, I lost track of everything after Pat sneezed.
And the customer has these very lightweight brass tracks picked out.
Stop. And yeah, like Pete was talking about, Mike, Pete, and I, we all went to Austin to take part in this Rubio / Festool Mako Challenge. It was a heck of a lot of fun, and it was very tightly packed schedule wise. But you know what? I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
It was fun and enlightening, and I really enjoyed it. Even though they had us meeting in the lobby at like 7 a.m. and I had to get up at 6:45. That's not my time of day.
It was pretty early wake ups.
Oh, I was not in good shape, especially after the first night. The first night we were all up, me and Pete and Mike and 9 or 10 other people. Well, actually more, because a lot of the staff was there, and I feel like there was probably 20 or 25 people total up in the lobby bar of the hotel.
You remember day 2 and 3 were the longest.
Oh, but
it was because
there was a lot of drinking.
Day 2 and 3 was 6 a.m. until noon of day 1. Was 2 days.
Yeah.
That's how long it felt.
the first day after that bar night of the whole meet and greet thing, we get there at like 7 a.m. and lunchtime rolls around and we're like, it's only noon? Oh God.
We were test fitting the dominoes on the first cut on a waterfall miter. And I was like, oh my God, we've been working like all day. I looked at my phone. I go, it's 10:30. Like scream it.
Yeah, in the morning.
Like,
it was
that's how fast
ridiculous.
we moved on this project. We cut
ridiculous.
We cut our slab like 30 minutes into meeting it.
Yeah.
Which usually
nice to meet
like,
you, slab.
Yeah, it's usually like, you have it in your shop for 2 weeks.
Yeah, you let it acclimate. We're kind of assuming that Rubio had it in their shop and they let it acclimate for a week.
I'm really glad that they gave us that CNC to flatten it out.
They didn't. We had to flatten that sucker by hand. By hand, old school, with an actual hand plane.
Which I didn't mention. Like, I don't know how I became like the hand tool guy of the group, of our group at least. I was hand flattening with a hand plane.
What did we have? A number 5?
It was a 5. It was a 5
Yeah.
and a block plane.
So it wasn't even a scrub plane. It was just a regular number 5.
And then I don't know where I go. You know what we could really use is a card scraper. And Sedge just goes into like a drawer and drops a bunch of card scrapers. I open up the plastic on one side. They're as dull as you can get.
Yeah, you had to burnish it.
Then I'm teaching everyone how to burnish.
Burnished with a screwdriver.
Yeah, with a screwdriver. And then I was like there with a chisel, and the chisels were very sharp screwdrivers. Mike, you guys chiseled way more than we did.
The chisels were. I came home and I did an inlay by hand just to feel better about myself. That's not a joke. I came home and I did a bow tie.
I'm better at this than I think I am.
No, I did. I was like, I came home, I stropped my 3/8 chisel and I did a bow tie just because I was so frustrated.
And then threw it in a fire.
The bow tie or the chisel?
Yeah. No, that chisel. I love the chisel.
Nice.
I wanted to get home and just sit at my Tormek for like a half a day watching like Seinfeld in the background,
Just
sharpening my
ground
blades.
down
Like just making,
like,
yeah, I just wanted
just
to
a
like,
handle.
I just wanted to like, just in anyway. Yeah.
Sorry, Dan, back to you.
No, I'm basically done. I want to hear
you brought
what,
me back to that moment. I was like, oh
actually,
my
I'm going to skip
God.
over Mike. I'm going to skip over Mike, and
Yes.
I want to hear what Pat has this week in his shop.
Or this month, because he doesn't catch up with us every week.
We could talk about what he did the last year.
What's got going on, buddy?
Oh, you know what? After making fun, I bought a house with my girlfriend. So now
Awesome.
on
Question.
my bench, yep.
What's making fun?
Oh, I don't know. I read that
We'd
somewhere.
love to hear about it.
Yeah, let's talk about the show later.
Yeah.
But yeah,
For sure. After we get to the week stuff.
yeah. So yeah, I just bought a new house. So what's on my bench right now is boxes. I need to. Yeah, I have a tiny garage now, so I don't have to drive 2 hours to go working in my grandma's basement. So I'll have my own space, but it's not set up yet.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How long do you think that's going to take to get set up?
I don't know. Maybe
No rush.
Yeah, I don't want to rush myself.
Yeah.
When I started that YouTube channel, I was stressed about, I need to put content out every week, and now I'm just, I don't know, I will just do what I want whenever I want. Yeah, no pressure. I want to make it okay. Like the main piece would be a lathe, of course, but yeah,
that's your main tool. That's your thing. The lathe is the most important thing for Pat to have in his shop.
No, yeah. Now that since I discovered the lathe, I don't want to work on something else anymore. I really do like the lathe because I was doing cabinetry for maybe 20 years. Like
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I was working with my grandfather. We used to make furniture and cabinets, and I got tired of this. And when I discovered the lathe, it was so organic that, man, I fell in love with that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't have much on my bench right now, but I'm gonna set my shop up soon.
I know when we were at Makers Camp, you guys were talking about. So how long have you been in that new place?
Oh, since November. I bought the house like 1 month after Maker Camp.
I remember you and I were sitting down in front of the lodge resort there, and you were talking about getting all that lined up and getting everything like it's such like a such a pain in the neck buying a house. And I think Canada's housing market's absolutely bonkers right now. Like it's insane
crazy
up there, right?
Yeah.
Like
we have
all kinds
of
of
tiny property, like it's like 2 square foot. That's like the house have.
What's that in metric?
Clearly he messed up the conversion from metric. It's like a hectare. It's a hectare in Canadian numbers.
I'm sorry to disappoint, but I don't use metric at all.
My man, Dan just fell in love with you.
Wow.
You look a lot sexier all of a sudden.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So no, that's crazy.
Cool. So slow week for you then. Well, I'm going to jump into my week then, if that's cool.
Yep.
And then me and Pete have a bunch of. I mean, we got some questions for you.
I got no questions for him. Don't throw me into that.
We wrote down questions for Dan to read, but we forgot Dan doesn't know how to read, so it kind of messed up the whole thing. So
we wrote them in numbers.
No, we wrote them in. Yeah, no. So this week, obviously, I won't go in more into what Dan and Pete said. We were in Austin last week. That's why we didn't have a show last week. Made some new friends. Got to get better relationships with some people that I talked to on the interwebs. We got to solidify some relationships, and man, I'll tell you what, met some really cool people out there, like really,
and
really
I think
cool
we
people.
Solidified some more guests that are going to be on the podcast.
We're going to have some guests on the show for sure, but like outside of the guests for the show.
So legit. We got really drunk one night and invited all 14 people. We invited each other. We're like, Dan, you got to get on mine and Mike's podcast. Great.
Yeah, the first night Dan went hard on the will you come on my podcast?
I'm sorry, what was that, Mr. 14 Bourbons?
I was not inviting anyone on the podcast. Dan was like aggressively inviting people.
Your eyes were inviting. We saw you. You were I
was drinking. At one point I remember feeling Char's hair from the Wooden Maven and going, man, this feels great. I got super creepy.
I'll cut this out.
That's let's edit that.
Edit that.
Yeah, no, it was a really great time. Got to really build some good relationships. It was really cool. But got back. I tried to my plan was to come back and work on Sunday, or on Saturday. Got home late Friday night. I was going to get in the shop and get some stuff done, and I was useless. I was absolutely toast. My voice was shot. I just wanted to lay around with my son and do nothing. So my son and I just played around and just kind of hung out and just did whatever. It was just family time. So came home, and then Sunday I ended up getting in the shop for a bit. I had to get some stuff ran on the CNC to get ahead of things, because we had this big order from this events company. We had 15 items we had to finish up, 15 bigger items for this customer. And I needed to get them out of the shop as soon as possible, because we've got just a pile of stuff coming in the next few months. So, next few weeks. But yeah, so we got that stuff all done. Sean and I busted our butts. If you don't know who Sean is one of my employees. Sean is awesome. He's great. So we got
handle.
Lonesome Road.
Yeah, Lonesome Road Woodworks. So Sean and I got all that stuff caught up Tuesday. We wrapped everything up, and then the customer came Wednesday to pick up everything in their big box van. And we're starting on we got like 6 doors, 4 doors for one customer, 2 doors for another customer, and we got a huge desk. I cannot wait to share this desk. This desk is going to be amazing. It's going to be so cool.
Have you talked about that bar with the ash top?
No, I didn't actually. I didn't. So that was for
that
the
was
event
beautiful.
Company. Yeah, that bar came out awesome. Like that was such a cool design. I want to make one. So I talked to the customer. They're ordering it sounds like they're going to order 4 more of those. We're going to do some different colors, and it looks like they're going to order one in hardwood. I want to do one out of hardwood for myself, and I want to keep that slat all the way around the front, those 1-inch slats. But I want to do a tambour door that opens and hides in behind the slats. I want to do it so bad. Yeah, I want to do it really bad, and I want to do it out of walnut. But I want to do anyway, I have some plans. And then the table we made out in Austin. Well, the table Dan and Pete were on a team. Yeah, we made out in Austin. It was hot.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the teams. Me and Dan were on team 1, and Mike was on team D.
Loser.
We're on team D, 8 inches. We were. No, we.
Have you ever seen an 8-inch table? It's pretty small.
It was tiny. It was like this
bench.
No, we got a. I was on a separate team from those guys. The table we built. Man, what a collaborative experience making stuff with. I mean, I would say Eric is a furniture maker for sure.
Eric who?
Eric Curtis. Love that dude. Eric and I, Eric's a good dude, but Eric's furniture maker. I wouldn't say Wobie's a furniture maker. I'd say Ben's more of like an artist maker type. And I would say that Jess and Jeff, they make their furniture makers, but they do their stuff, And then Lindsay is like a maker, kind of like artist type.
It's fair to say that everybody has their own strengths.
Yeah, and
right. Really no, that's what everyone has their own strengths, unique. But what's important is everyone had their own perspective, and everyone we're going to hey, we're going to build this thing. Everyone throw your opinions out, and it was really collaborative, and that was what was so cool about it. Now, with that being said, I wouldn't have built that table that way, and that was so cool about that is I built the table with these people that I never would have built the way I wouldn't have built it that way. I would have built it very similarly, but I want to build one like that now. I want to build it with that splay out. I want to build it with giant bow ties, not the keys are purely ornamental. They have no value. I want to do big, long bow ties across the splay with no backer on there. And I want those to be ebonized. I want to do them out of ash or white oak, and I want to ebonize the big bow ties.
I want to do a PVC inlay.
Yeah, we know. We got the memo.
We heard about that. Pat, you have no idea what we had to deal with over there. He was looking for a thing to inlay, and at some point I don't know how, in this warehouse of wood and finishes, he finds a PVC pipe and goes, I want to inlay this. And we're like, what are you talking about?
Okay. If you stand the PVC up, it's just a circle. It's just a white circle.
Damn.
And I think if you inlaid
a charger inlaid into the table,
if you inlay the white circle, it would be super cool.
Yeah, Bao did this like a year ago, but he used brass, not PVC, like a homeless person. Homeless woodworks. Right.
One of these days when I have free time, I'm going to inlay some PVC, and you guys are all
you're going to have a lot of it because you're not taking commission work.
Dan was right. Oh.
Yes, this will be us. Mike, can you do the thing?
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'll do this thing. Oh, this one? Oh.
Yeah.
Mine's too short.
No, so anyway, we got that piece was really cool. That design was fun to make, and that ash top was sweet. But anyway, we got this desk I'm really excited about. We're doing this thing's going to be big. I'm picking up the wood tomorrow. I can talk about this now. I've been negotiating multiple projects with a company called Room and Board for months. And we finally just got the first PO with them while I was in Austin. So we're going to be starting some of that work now. And then really, really excited to work with Room and Board. That's going to be a really cool to work with them. I don't have much else to say about it. I mean, it's really excited about the possibilities there. They're a big player in the furniture world, and they have a lot of the same ideals I do. They're all about reforestation and sustainability, and I am huge on that. So that's
they do a lot of urban wood,
salvaged wood. They do a lot of salvaged wood pieces, and that's big for my business. So and I'm all about it. They invest back into the environment. They put money back into reforestation is really big, a real big thing for me that I like to support, and they have the same ideals. So that's really important.
That's cool.
Cool.
Thanks, buddy. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on this week. Tomorrow I'm heading up to go see my friends up at Bidwell Wood and Iron. They do all my metal, but they are about to be announcing a lot of really big stuff here over the next few weeks, which I won't spoil any of that, but keep an eye out for those guys. They have a very, very specific and driven long game in front of them, and
they're on IG, right? You can go follow them.
Oh yeah, Bidwell Wood and Iron is on IG. Bidwell Wood Company is also part of that. Atomic Powder Coatings is their company.
Nice.
Bidwell is awesome.
2 companies. That's
it's 4. There's actually another company, and I'm completely spacing what the other one is right now. There's Bidwell Steel. I think it's just Bidwell Iron Company is the other one. So they're all separate divisions. But we're having a big meeting tomorrow. We got to discuss some things that are coming up in the fall, but we're discussing some other things. Aaron and his wife Amanda, they are part owners of the company, and Aaron and I have a bunch of plans for the next 3-4 months. So we got some cool things coming down the pipe. So anyway, enough of that. Pat, we want to grill you, man. I can't. Yes.
Who do you think you are? Yeah. How did you get here?
No, I actually want to ask, like,
go.
What making fun. We love it. The community loves it.
Well, what is making fun? Because he didn't really explain it.
I mean, we've had it on the show. We had all the guys on the show. Anyone who listens to the show.
Let's reiterate.
People listen top down. Yeah. Give us a quick elevator pitch.
I still don't know what making fun is all about.
And why should you?
Yeah, Making Fun is a build show on Netflix now that involves me, Jackman, Derista, and
Eric
Graz.
No.
They're out.
Oh no, we don't talk about them. We don't talk about them anymore.
Yeah,
we don't talk about Grazo.
No, just kidding. I love those guys. We're united to make children's dreams or crazy ideas, and that was pretty cool.
Crazy ideas in the fact that you made a farting unicorn.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope Graz's eyes are
YOLO. Pink eye or rainbow eye, I guess.
Rainbow eye.
Yeah.
Wait, are you making kids' dreams come true, or are you making Jimmy's dreams to yell at kids without getting in trouble come true?
Well, we've tried to make producers' dreams come true.
Oh.
Yeah. That's who you make happy.
No. Yeah. That was pretty cool. That was the first experience, first TV experience for me, Jackman, Derek, and Graz. Obviously, Jimmy has a lot of experience in that, but we were all so nervous at the beginning, especially me. I don't know about the other guys, but first time I'm making TV, but first time I'm making TV in English. That's not my, as you can notice, that's not my main language.
No.
Your baguette and butter is French TV. Get it, like bread and butter?
Nope.
No, but
it's not my thing.
Because you've made French TV stuff or French TV content?
No, I used to work behind the camera, but not in front of. Yeah.
Well, that was a mistake they made. Should have been in front of it the whole time.
Yeah, you put Pat in front. No one puts Pat behind the camera.
But now that's funny because of making fun, I have 2 show offers here in Quebec.
Really?
So I was talking to Derek.
Really?
Yeah.
I was in Rhode Island with Derek, and he was telling me that
Name dropper.
up in Canada, they are. I mean, you were getting like star treatment, like they were bringing you onto shows and stuff like that, right? He was like, "Yeah, they're doing the big media push for you."
Yeah,
This week on Canadian Ellen.
That's crazy because I got all the lights like in the first week. Like I've been invited on TV shows. I've been doing interviews and lot, like not too much, but still pretty much for me. And the other guys did nothing. It's not their fault, but I don't know what happened.
Like, it seems like marketing was improportionately balanced. They didn't do a good job with the marketing in different.
Well, those guys are terrible people. So
right,
no.
Jackman's a monster. No,
he really
that's
is.
Really cool that you have like you basically like. Would you say? And I'm not even making a joke. Would you say that you became like an overnight celebrity?
I would say that Pat is the Ariana Grande of Canada.
You're the Drake of Canada.
Wait.
The Drake of making.
I don't know.
Draking it.
Dude, that's so cool.
Yeah.
What's the? I mean, obviously you're getting TV offers now. What's the biggest thing to come of making fun? I mean, what's the biggest thing to come of making fun for you personally? Like, what's the biggest, I guess, net positive of doing this show?
Oh,
the paycheck.
Oh no, actually no. You know what? I think the most rewarding thing was to collaborate with all those people, because I knew Jackman, but the other guys like Jimmy, I didn't know him much, and Graz and Derek and Justine, but I made a lot of friends. Like you said at the beginning, like I consolidated like relationship. For me, that's all about it. I don't care about TV stuff or things like that. I was just in the giant shop with friends with no budget. I mean, no budget limit. That was crazy.
I mean, I don't know you super duper well, but from what I know of you, that jives for me. I mean, that makes really a lot of sense to me. Like, the thing you get out of it is the relationship with those guys. Cause we all just made the joke that they're monsters, but they're not. Those are great guys. Those are really great people to know.
Except
and they're really
Jackman.
Good people.
They're
Except for Paul. Paul is a monster. No.
Don't attack Paul Jackman. That's mine.
I know. That's his guy. No. Well, I'm actually shocked Paul didn't come into the pre-show. He always comes into our pre-shows like every week, and the week you're on, he's never in the pre-show.
Oh, it's just because he's right there. Look at that.
No, we that is super cool. Like, that was the same thing. We went to Austin. I didn't know what to anticipate, and I made some really great friendships. It's like it's something that won't go away. And as long as you maintain it, you'll always have those relationships. And that's the coolest thing. I mean, it's so lame. Like, it's the friends we make along the way, but it's true,
It's true.
It's true. Like, it's 100% true. It's the fact.
And you said at the beginning of your statement, Mike, that you don't know Pat very well, but I got a photo that says otherwise.
We were tummy bumping. It's true.
Yeah, you guys tummy bumped.
Yeah.
Bare tummy bumped.
Are you jealous? Look at that.
Okay, I'm leaving.
Tummy Pat.
I'm out of here.
Oh, that was a fun show. Well, I guess we have to cancel the podcast.
Yep.
Fine, we'll just put
and even
2017.
If it happens that we don't get a second season, I want to hang out with those guys again to do the same thing. Like a YouTube collab or something.
You should do if it doesn't happen, which Netflix is in a weird place right now, but I mean, if it doesn't happen, you guys don't own making fun, I assume, but you guys can do anything you want together, and you guys absolutely should continue. And I mean, in my opinion, you guys should be making content together at least quarterly on some way. I mean, that would crush.
Absolutely.
That would absolutely crush.
I need to read the contract again. Maybe we can't, but
That would be so bad if in the contract it said you couldn't hang out together and make content.
You can't hang out together.
A podcast where they recap the episodes like they do with Office Ladies. Same thing.
That'd be super fun.
Just him and Pat talking about, or Paul and Pat just talking about like, oh, we did this. A funny thing is, Graz is actually a lot shorter than you think, and then they just go to the next one. Dude, but that's so cool. Like, it'd be so great to have you over in the States a lot more, because also Jimmy's got this like community around him.
Yep.
You know, or at least it's people that know or got into it because of Jimmy, or all know each other because of Jimmy, and then. That's a pretty big group. It's a lot of the East Coast and kind of the rest of the US in some way. So like you got a big family down here in the States.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. You can always make something happen.
Right. Yeah. That was a bit of a problem for me at the beginning because I was still starstruck by Jimmy. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. When you see Jimmy the first time, it's hard not to. He's the Godfather. He's the Godfather.
Yeah.
What you didn't see is when Jimmy was on our podcast, and then the second he just like was like, all right, guys, I'll see you later. He leaves, and me and Dan were just like, yeah. Just losing it. And we're like, we're cool. And Mike cool as a cucumber always. He's super excited. He was like, we just had Jimmy on. It's just sipped his bourbon. So
you can't see my boner.
I can't see it, but it's holding me down. I can't stand up.
It's depleting the pants.
So I hate to ask this question because it's the one that we get asked a lot. But like,
don't ask Dan. Respect yourself.
Fine, I won't ask who you find the sexiest. I'll ask, how did you get into the maker or woodworking world?
I've always been a woodworker, like since I was like a tiny Pat Lap.
Baby Pat Lap.
Baby Pat Lap. I always worked with my grandfather, so cool. Making like little things and then furniture and then
That's so cool, man.
Born and raised in the shop I'm working on right now.
That's crazy.
Then
same shop.
Same shop.
Oh my God.
And earlier that he goes to his grandmother's house.
I didn't realize that that's the shop you grew up in.
That's
shop.
Awesome. Yeah. And my introduction to the woodworking community, it's Paul. It's Paul Jackman. That's funny because I met Paul like 6 or 7 years ago. I commented on one of his YouTube videos and he replied. And then there was this other dude who commented on my video asking if he can make a collab with me. And I said, oh, what? We can make collabs on YouTube? Yeah, I want to make a collab, but not with you. I want to make a collab with Paul Jackman because I find him funnier. I won't tell what the other guy's name is, but
Johnny Builds.
Is that him?
No. I don't.
Yeah, so I asked Paul, hey, do you want to collab? And he says yes. Then we made our first collab. He introduced me to the first Facebook group I like to make stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and the rest is history. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I like to make stuff group on Facebook. That's the one that Bob Claggett set up.
Babbitt. Yep.
Bob Saget. Bob Saget.
No,
he set it up before he died.
So how'd you get into the lathe work? If you're doing woodworking your whole life and you fell into lathe work?
Yeah, by pure hazard. I was watching YouTube videos and I fell on Carl Jacobson videos, like early videos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then I binge watched all these videos and I told myself I want a lathe. I don't know why, but I want a lathe. And like the week after, I bought my first tiny lathe. And since then, that was a tiny Delta one.
Oh, okay. It was like a Canadian Tire brand.
No. Now I have a crappy King one. I want to upgrade that. Yeah, King Canada one. Yeah.
I want a lathe for me so bad, and I don't want to integrate it into my business.
But you will.
Yeah, I will, but I don't want to integrate it in my business on any level. I've been on a lathe 2 times. One time was at Maker Camp and one time was another time before that. I want a lathe so bad so I can just make bowls. That's all I want to do is just make bowls.
Yeah.
It just seems
coffee
so
custom pen makers.
handles.
I don't
Mike, I made so many handles on my lathe. That's pretty much all.
Yeah,
I made.
handles.
I made like two bowls and handles.
It looks so cathartic. Hell yeah. I've got so much green. I've got so much wood on my property that I can get the green wood and turn that. Yeah, I just really want to. It's something that looks so cathartic and so enjoyable. I totally get it, even though I've never done it. I totally get it. I wish I had more time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
put my bowl at next maker camp. Let's make a bowl.
Yeah.
Together. Yeah.
A little collab.
Great. I'd love
Pat
to.
Starts it and like roughs it out, and then
Ghost. No, I want to do Ghost style. He's gonna sit right behind me, and he's gonna like guide my hands. We're gonna be covered in carnauba oil. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, I put my lathe right by the garage door because I'm like, I really wanted to turn because at my old place I would turn with the garage doors open so that all the dust goes out, and you get a nice view and fresh air and everything. And then I ended up enclosing that part of the shop like Mark Spagnola from Wood Whisperer, where he just built up like fake walls in front of his garage door. So one opens, not the one with the lathe on it.
I mean, it still opens, but you can't see anything, right?
You can't. Well, yeah. Right now,
or you can't open it. It goes up so high that it won't open.
I might, if I get a good mini split and good insulation in there, I might take the insulation out of there. But we'll see. I don't know. I like my lathe. I just haven't run it in a while. I should probably do that.
Yeah,
it's a nice really lathe. I know.
I got it from this guy in Nebraska.
What a douche.
Dan, do you have any questions for Pat?
Pat, how do you keep your beard so lovely?
Oh, God, here we go. Jealousy.
I'm taking care of that. I use oil.
What kind of oil? Squirrel oil, walnut oil?
No, that's beard oil.
Oh, beard oil. And your eye color, is that a contact?
What? No.
No, his eyes are that magical.
Yeah, that's natural. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm going to need a minute.
Turquoise for the Turk boys.
What?
A turquoise color. It's like a light blue. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
So
thank you.
I mean, since Dan clearly made up that question right there, I thought I'd ask a real one. No. I mean, so you guys haven't heard anything.
Any good interviewer can make up questions on the spot, Mike.
I'd love to see you do that. Let me know when you can.
I just did
it. No. So you guys haven't gotten any word on renewal from Netflix. That is crazy. I mean, I think everyone would be shocked that it doesn't come back. I mean, it's got to come back. I mean,
I think if it doesn't come back, I'm going to cancel my Netflix.
Honestly, we really don't know. I'm
gonna throw out.
I know you don't know. I know that for sure. You don't know. I mean,
but
I mean, you couldn't say anything if you did. But yeah, I mean,
the last one was 6 years in development or something.
Like
6 years or 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years. Yeah.
Oh, 3 years. 3 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Like that's a lot.
And yeah, we don't have. I know we have good numbers. We don't know the numbers, but I know we have good numbers. And yeah, no news from them, and no news from nobody.
I know. I've seen the news in the news lately. They're having like subscriber loss and stuff like that. I mean, I guess what I'm getting to is, well, I guess it wouldn't work that way because Netflix probably owns the IP. I was going to say like, that might get you in trouble. I guess if some other streaming outfit or network or whatever picked up the show, obviously you guys would go there with that. I mean, what I'm saying is you enjoy doing the show, right? Like those are totally, friends. Yeah. Like you enjoy those guys, you enjoy the crew. I mean, Mike O'Dare seemed like a pretty great guy. We had him on the show for a little bit. Awesome. It seemed like a really just overall for you guys super positive experience. Now, obviously, there's always things that you can't talk about. That there's always like there's always some parts of this thing where you're gonna kind of have to keep appearances on things. Obviously, not everything is always perfect, but that did seem like you guys were legitimately having fun and talking to everyone, and Graz and Paul and everyone I've talked to. You guys all seem like you really had a good time. It seemed like a really incredible experience for you guys. Yeah, I mean, obviously, you guys clicked. It makes sense. So, if you had,
go ahead.
I was going to say, obviously, if the opportunity came up, if some other organization or entity created the opportunity, you guys would obviously do it again. But I guess it just goes back to what I was saying is you guys, the chemistry between you guys is what made that show.
Yeah, I agree.
So it doesn't,
you know what bugs me the most about that? Like when we were done shooting the first season, I was in the feeling that we were ready to shoot the second, like right now.
Jump
Because,
into it.
Yeah, we were stressed, like maybe for the first 7 episodes, and in the last one we were like, oh yeah, let's go.
Finally got it dialed in.
Yeah. The problem with that show is we didn't have any pilot, so we didn't know how it would look. And when we start seeing the clips, I was like, oh, if I knew, I would have like pulled
Well, they did so good with the post. The post was so
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
They did so good with all the
crazy.
sound effects and all the all the graphics. They did so good with the post.
I gotta say that the marketing, or at least the social media marketing for that show was on point. Between you guys, no, like really, like you guys, between your content and you guys just slicing all these little bits that you did. It's more than I can say of most. Like, I'm a big fan of like making it, but like they did not have so many clippable bits of.
Are we talking about the Making It show on NBC or the Making It podcast?
The show on NBC?
Okay.
Yeah, with Nick Offerman and.
You know, that brings up a point. And you don't have to answer this, Pat, but all the promotional content that you guys were putting on your social media feeds, obviously, it was a benefit for you guys to share that, to get the show going and help with all that stuff. But was there any obligation from Netflix for you guys to share that on your social media? Was there like a number of? Are you allowed to talk about that? I don't know. If you can't, then don't. It's fine.
Also, I have a second question to that before you answer. Was that all pre-approved content? Did they say this is what you can share and here's a
yeah, but we can talk more about after the show if you want.
I understand.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I understand.
So none of the kissing made it into the previews. Okay.
But yeah,
that makes sense.
We had guidelines. Yeah.
No, of course. They're probably an entity that large probably very tightly controls every single aspect of everything, which makes sense. Of course,
all I keep thinking about is Graz in the soccer shoe car. And there's a scene at the end where he's just driving around and he's holding an iPhone, recording everything while Jimmy's on top of the car. I'm still yet to see that clip. I'm like, is it restricted or
like FBI guys swooped in and stole the phone?
Or is Graz just like sitting on
There's
it?
so much stuff you guys didn't see.
I'm sure there's so much
we know.
Stuff.
When we were talking to all you guys, I feel like there could be a whole season of director's cut, quote unquote, stuff.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. That could have been a complete another show.
Yes, we want to see that. I will pay for that.
I
will pay upwards of $3.99 a month for 2 months.
All right. Well, thank you, Pat. That's awesome. We really appreciate all the answers. Let's jump into some questions here. We're almost an hour into this thing. Let's get through a few questions here and see. Let's see. Let's do some quick fires here real quick. So our first question is from Mr. Kimani von Strayhorn right here.
He's German.
Hey guys, welcome back from Austin. I must say, I don't think I've ever seen a project get built from 8 different angles at the exact same time from multiple maker accounts. So that is a feat in itself, in addition to making 2 beautiful projects like that in the time that you had. So I hope both of your projects do well and raise a lot of money for Faith and Lucas. So great job on that and welcome back. To my question, I wanted to know about working with brands, and specifically, are there any like unwritten rules? We'll just say hypothetically, there's 2 brands, they make battery powered drills. You've worked with both of them before, and now you're saying, hey, I'm working on a project, and they say, hey, we're going to send you a drill, use it, talk about it, X, Y, and Z. And then you kind of reach out to the company B and say, hey, I like your drill. And they're like, oh, great. Hey, we'll send you out a drill, use it, talk about it, X, Y, and Z. So nobody's necessarily sponsoring you, but they did just send you, free stuff. So is there particularly like an unwritten rule about doing things like that? Or is it kind of like, if you want to maintain a good relationship with both companies, don't, I guess, spend time bashing one another, obviously. But yeah, I just didn't know if there was anything in particular, any do's or don'ts to working with brands that do the exact same thing. That's all. Thanks. Bye.
Dan.
I think it would behoove you a little bit to, if you're working with two different companies that do the exact same thing, it would do you a lot of good in the face value of things if you would pick one over the other and not be a shill for both. First of all, that's the number one thing I would do right out of the gates. And then secondly, it really comes down to what the company wants out of, or the brand, what they want out of the content that you share. Do they want their name front and center, or do they want their product just kind of there and be seen? And if they are paying you monetarily, you have to, by law, say, this is an ad. Or if they're just giving you free product, I don't think you are obligated to say this is an ad just to show their product. So there's a lot of things to consider, I feel like. It's really hard to like say hard stances on one way or another. So I'm gonna pass this over to Mike. I feel like he has more to say on this issue than I would.
You're just drunk.
I am drunk.
It's Cinco de Mayo.
It's Cinco de Mayo. I'm halfway through a bottle of margaritas.
I think that it would behoove you.
I like that word, behoove.
To pick a side and make a quick decision on which tool brand you prefer, and express your interest to them that you want to work with them. And I think having free tools is pretty cool. Feels pretty neat to get some free tools.
It feels good,
but you only need so many contour gauges.
But yeah, you don't need so many drills. What you do need is a good relationship with a company that you can rely on in the future. So if a brand is going to send you some stuff, and I don't think the optics are great, but I don't think they're going to hurt you. Like, I don't think people care enough. Like, people don't follow your content enough as much as you, like, however much you scrutinize yourself. I don't think people follow close enough to be like, ooh, he's got a Milwaukee. He had a Makita last week. That's pretty gross. They don't follow that close. And if they do, it's not your problem.
I feel like your core followers, your core supporters may notice that.
They may, but I don't know that it
you don't want to drive away your core audience.
You never want to drive away your core audience, but whatever tools you choose shouldn't decide your core audience either. Ultimately, at the end of the day, if they don't like the same tools as you, let's be very honest with ourselves here. Like, all these tools are made in 3 factories. They're all made in 3 factories, and they're all pretty much the same. The tool company I like to use the most is the one I have the best relationship with, and the one that I can depend on moving forward with my business and my content. And that's where I'm at. So I think that in terms of what Kamani is asking is there unwritten rules of how he should present this? And the bottom line is, the only thing that matters is if someone sends you a document that you signed and it has the word exclusive in it. So if there's no exclusivity clause involved, you're under no obligation to do anything. Now, it might make you look a little flippant to your core audience, who, Dan is right, they will notice, but overall, people won't care what tools you're using for the most part. I mean, they'll make a comment oh, you have one of those, that's not even a tool, you're not even a woodworker.
Your core audience is like 1 out of 10 people. So 9 out of 10 people are not going to notice that.
But anyway, but the point is, like, for your own personal value moving forward, try to find the brand that you jive with the best, and that person that you're dealing with, if you like them the most or whatever. If you're trying to like go for content for that, if you're trying to do content to go the tool route, getting tools, sharing stuff, that kind of stuff, then evaluate how you want to proceed, I guess.
And overall, you have to actually like the tool. Yeah. You have to. You can't just be taking stuff on just because it's free. You have to actually like stand behind it and
believe in the product, because people are going to buy that because you did. And if they buy it and it's trash, that will affect you. Like,
they're going to come back to you.
If you don't believe in the product that you're using and putting, people don't care. What I mean is, like, people, when I say people don't care about what you're actually doing, they're not like, they don't follow it super closely. They don't go through it with a fine-tooth comb, but people will buy something because you did, or because you presented it to them. That's just how it works. That's just why tool companies send tools to people on the internet. That's why it works. It's influencing. That's how it works. So if you're going to influence someone accidentally or on purpose, do it in a way that you're going to be happy that you did it and proud of that. And don't just be like, oh, I got this free tool, so I'm going to start using it. Do it. You get the free tool because you really like that tool, or you really want that tool or want it to be. And then if that tool ends up being a turd, be very honest about that with people. Like,
I just won't use it.
No, just, you don't have to bash it, but you need to be very like, hey, this didn't work out. Here's why. This is why it was a shortcoming. This is why it didn't do what I expected. But be really honest about that. And that will help you with your integrity moving forward.
Yep.
So that's my thoughts on that. Peter?
I want to hear from Pat actually first.
I
don't have a lot to add. I want to hear his input.
I don't get a lot of sponsorship.
Yet.
Mostly because I don't want to. Now I think I prefer to buy my tools and do whatever the fuck I want with it.
Yeah.
Instead of,
it gets stressful.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna send you, I don't know, that tool, and you need to make 3 videos and blah 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 blah, and you need to talk about it for 7 minutes. Well, my videos are like max 3 minutes long. I don't want to deal with that anymore. If you want to send me stuff and I don't have to make content on that, I will probably load you with a ton of content, because you gave me no
no barriers.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. But other than that, I would prefer to pay for my tools.
Yeah. I actually
makes things less stressful and less dirty. It takes the muddiness out of the water.
Yeah, there's that company. I won't name the company, but they contacted me because of making fun. Hey Pat, do you want to work with us? We're blah blah blah. We're producing blah blah blah, and do you want to feature that on your videos? And I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? And then they told me, okay, I'm gonna give you a kit, like a $20 kit, and then you need to make a full video on that. Yeah, like fuck that. I'm gonna buy the kit and
right, exactly.
$20.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. I've had a few people or a few brands reach out and say, we're going to send you this. Is that cool? We just want your thoughts on it. Yeah, sure. If that's where it ends, I will happily take that stuff and I'll give you my thoughts and a story or whatever. But if you're going to like send me a $30 tool or whatever that's not that expensive and you want me to give you 100 videos, that's an over exaggeration. But if you want me to give you a bunch of videos, well, then that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not just going to take the tool for payment. Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem, there will be always one person who will accept that.
That is a problem. And here's the thing, like if you're work, I mean, I'm a very busy person, and if someone gives you like a $30 tool, if your video is only worth $30, like,
oh yeah,
come on, man, like get out of here with that number. Like you're high. And like if you are coming to me and saying, hey, we're gonna give you a $30 tool for free, we just want a video. If you think that I can even do a video that I will put on my channel in under 30 minutes and I can do it for $30, that's not what I'm doing. Like that's not my business model, man. Like
you're living in Canada and you're high. I mean,
oh my God.
Full transparency. I don't know what Mike or Pete or Pat charges, but for a 15-second video that I'm going to feature on Instagram, if you want to pay me, that's going to cost you at least $750.
Yep.
At least.
Yeah.
Minimum.
It's not going to be a $30 tool. It's not.
Great. You send me the tool. Also, I'm going to need there's going to be an invoice coming away for $1,000. So
yeah.
That's how it works.
Know your
on the price of
value.
the tool,
Know
though,
your
'cause there's
value
some that
first of
are
all.
worth it.
It's exactly what Pat just said. Someone will do it. And that's what they do. They send out all these messages and it just devalues everyone. And that's where
somebody will do it.
And it goes down to and it goes to the other side too, on the not content creating side. But if you're making products, sadly, people go, oh, I just covered my time, so I made money. That devalues the whole industry, the whole woodworking thing. Like someone will do, I send a quote out for whatever, several, like $10,000 for a table. Someone's like, we found a guy who do it for $3,500. Dude, it's go to him, get what you get. That's $1,800 in white oak. He's building this thing for, whatever the difference is there. I can't do math. I'm a furniture maker, but it's like $1,700.
No, he's not making that out of white oak. First of all,
Anyway, it's one of those things where, like, unfortunately, the lowest common denominator becomes the value that gets expressed across the board, and it hurts everyone.
This is a phrase that comes up in the photography community a lot. It's a race to the bottom. It becomes a race to the bottom. Who can be the lowest? And it's a sad situation. It really is.
Yep. Don't undervalue yourself in any scenario. You don't chase stuff. You don't chase after whatever it is. Don't chase it. Know your value and charge it every single time. Don't even chase your dreams unless you're getting paid. No, no, it's an important.
Can that be the show title? Don't chase your dreams.
Don't chase your dreams. F that.
Don't chase your dreams with Pat Lap. Show title.
Pretty sure that's kind of on theme.
So Pete, you didn't really get to go.
No, I didn't get to go.
No, we've been all like talking all over the place.
No,
Sorry.
but I agree with you guys. One thing that, and actually Morgan Hopp was in here, who was a rep for a brand, and he said some stuff that I agree with. And it's at the end of the conversation when you're reaching out. So if you're at the lower end, and by lower end, I mean anywhere from 0 followers to like
5,000,
25,000, whatever.
Oh,
even that, but like provide a value. Like tell
Pete's not at 25,000 yet.
24.8. But basically, the more you can provide, not only are you reducing the amount of work the person on the other end has to do, which, like, if you're in a job and you're just like, get someone hitting you up and they want stuff from you, a sales guy, like, hey, I'm Schmanuel Schmunlap and I make Schmoodworks, whatever. Like,
I hate that.
You're going to take that guy like not very seriously unless they go, hey, I have this many followers. I think your brand is perfect for me. Here's what I can provide. And on deliverables, I can offer this, and here's my rates. If you want to know my media kit, whatever, let me know. Like, take all the work out of there so that they could just reply back with, cool dog, let's do it. Like, that's what you want.
That's where a media kit comes into
That's
play.
where media kit comes in handy.
We've talked about this in the past.
Yeah. So basically, the more work you can take, or the less work you can create for the person on the other end, the better. Hit them up with an idea. Don't just go like, hey, I got followers. Tool, please.
Me followers, you tool me.
You tool me. And the thing is, like, and this might sound, kind of conceited in a way. And like, I think a lot of us are in that same boat of like, we don't really need your tool anymore. We don't need your product anymore. Money, please.
I've grown out of contour gauges. Thank you.
Like, no, but that's the reality of it. Like, if you're working with a certain company or certain finishes or products or whatever, like, I don't need more of your product, but I'd love to work with your brand. And I know your brand has a marketing thing. So like, offer them the options, offer them the, like,
that's actually a very good sentiment.
Yeah. Cause like I'll shout him out. We learned this from, I talked with Casey Reeves at Workbench Con, and he had this strategy. And I was like, oh, that's brilliant. He's like, I'm going to make this content anyways, because I'm growing. I'll have this video finish where I use this item or this.
Shop the video
from this, whatever.
That's how you do it.
And just hit up the brands and be like, hey, do you want in on this? And they'll go, yeah, just throw our name at the end or in the middle or a midway roll or whatever it might be. And they'll just give you money. Now, granted, that's at a higher tier. It's not that simple.
It doesn't just work like that for everyone.
You're not gonna be able to do that with 100 subscribers on YouTube.
There is a relationship that you already formed.
Sure.
But the fact of the matter is that because he formed his relationships, he can reach out to brands and they'll go like, oh, cool, this might not fit us, but maybe next time. It's not are you kidding me? Get out of here. Like, it's a conversation. So that's what you want. Take the work that you can out of
build relationships.
And I'm going to shout out this, he's not really a woodworker. He's kind of a maker, more of a business owner. He's got Coffee Custom Wilds, I think. I don't know, Mike Coffee, whatever.
Not a woodworker.
I don't like
not
that.
A maker.
But some of the best feedback or best recommendation that I ever got
from him a douchebag.
Take the conversation off of Instagram immediately, as soon as you can. And that doesn't just go for brands. That's not a place for business.
That's a place for twerking.
That's a place for losing track of the conversation because you have 50,000 people messaging you in a day. Take that offline, take them via text, phone number, email. And that goes for relationships with, like, if I want to be best friends with Pat, which life goals, hey,
dick pics incoming.
Yeah, like, I got his cell number now. I can message him, be like, hey, it's Pete from the podcast, remember?
Nope. Bye.
No, block. Like, take the relationship off the platform as soon as you can.
I had a conversation like that almost exactly with another high-end woodworker.
We're best friends, right?
No. It's like, you were on my podcast, right? You remember that? He's like,
was it John? Was it Jimmy? No. There it is. That's the number.
It was not Jimmy.
That's Paul's number. I know it. I have it memorized.
Let's
sorry, go on.
Let's jump into I want to skip these other two questions. We're gonna go to this other one from Thomas St. George. He is Tomas Sancho. Tomas. I'm gonna place Tomas's question, and it's actually in French, and I'd like Pat to interpret for us so we know what's going on here. So
because I have no idea what's going on.
This question's from Tomas.
Hi guys, hi Pat, it's Thomas from TGMX. I have a question especially for Pat, and as I know he speaks French, I'll just do it in French. Ok Pat, alors c'est quoi pour toi le bois que tu préfères le plus tourner autour d'un bois, et pourquoi? Et également quel était le projet qui était le plus dur à tourner, que ce soit pour la difficulté du projet ou parce que le bois était compliqué à travailler. Voilà. All right, thanks. Bye.
I knew
Pat,
some of those words.
That's not like. I hope it's not like a bunch of super racist stuff. But if you could, if you could translate, that'd be super great.
The Irish.
Okay. First for
Irish.
The Irish.
The Irish.
Not really, people. All right.
Whoa.
Pat, please translate.
Yeah. Just for respect, I'm gonna reply in French first, and then I'm gonna translate. Is that
outstanding?
Okay?
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. That's perfect.
Hey, salut Thomas. Premièrement, le bois que j'aime bien travailler, moi, c'est le cerisier. J'adore tourner le cerisier et parce que ça sent bon. Et deuxièmement, les problèmes avec qui j'ai le matériel avec quoi j'ai le plus de problèmes, c'est la résine. Fait que peu importe qu'est-ce qu'il y a, peu importe la sorte de bois, mais avec la résine à l'intérieur, ça me fait chier. Je suis désolé. So he asked.
This is the most classy episode. This is the most classy episode.
I'm at full mast.
So he asked what is my favorite wood to turn, which I replied.
That's a great question.
Yeah, that's cherry. I like cherry. I love cherry.
Why is that?
Cherry pie.
I don't know. It's so soft and hard at the same time. I don't know.
It doesn't fly apart.
Yeah, it cuts like butter. That's crazy.
I love working with cherry.
Yeah.
Even for like regular woodworking, cherry just so nice. Burns a little bit, but it's good.
Yep. And then he asked what were the project had difficulties with, and it's always resin with me. Like everything with epoxy fails on me. I don't know why, but
isn't that really tough to turn epoxy?
Not really, but it always explodes when I turn it.
Not really, but it explodes. Got it.
Yeah, but that makes for a great. Yes, that makes for a great fail.
It's a top 3 Pat Lap epoxy fail moments. No, I really want to get into turning so much. It looks just so freaking enjoyable and cathartic.
Yeah, that's fun. I love it.
All right, Tomas, thank you for calling in 2 weeks in a row, man. We got a great question in for Pat. What's up, Dan? Sorry,
I was just going to make comments about cherry, but I forget.
Were you gonna yell "She's my cherry pie" again? By any chance?
Perhaps.
Turd hats.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Yes, Stan is here to party. Well, I think that's a pretty good episode.
Is that it? Are we done?
I mean,
can I sing "She's My Cherry Pie"?
I'd prefer you did not do that.
She's my cherry pie.
Why'd you ask?
Cool drink of water. Something sky.
I'm gonna actually delete that out and
no,
put
you're not.
you just singing the "What's on My." You're right. I'm too busy. I'm gonna put the "What's on My Bench" song in there 3 times in a row. So, no. Well, that's our episode. Is that good? How do you feel about that, guys?
All the way down your plums?
Great.
Pete looks annoyed. Pete, you want to go 2 hours? 2 hours?
I love Pat.
I can't go
Anytime
2 hours.
I do too. I'm so glad Pat's on the show.
I'm more of a 10-minute guy.
Because
10 seconds.
I identify with him because we're both foreigners and like.
Oh, you're gonna work this into the show, huh?
English is very hard for us.
Here we go.
Hard for us.
Pat, I lost the accent because of bullies in high school. Otherwise, I'd still have it. Yeah.
Where are you from? Jersey.
Polska.
Oh, Pola.
Jersey.
Pola.
Oh. Jersey. It's Eastern Jersey.
Far East Jersey, Poland.
Far East Jersey.
Pete's our Polish prince.
Ali Akbar bagel.
Pat, thank you so much, man. Thanks for coming on the show. Sorry it's so disappointing. I can see it in your eyes that you hated every minute of it. But we're really glad to have you on. No, we're really glad to have you on, man. You're really great. I love you, Pat. You're great.
Pat,
so,
before you go, are you going to be at Maker Camp again this coming year?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
As are we.
So are we. It's going to be great. I can't wait. That's going to be awesome.
We may or may not be there in a camper. Mike doesn't want to sleep in the same.
I'm not sleeping in a camper with you. It's not happening. Stop pushing this.
I may or may not snore. I don't know.
You are the loudest snorer I've ever heard in my entire life. Even in cinema, you're the loudest snorer I've ever heard.
Funky Mike snore pants over here.
Yeah. No, I can't wait. Maker Camp's going to be a ton of fun. It's going to be a blast. Yeah. What's the dates on that? Early October?
I don't know. Is it out
It's
yet?
early October.
It is,
That's what it was last year.
Cool.
Shouldn't you ask your buddy Jimmy?
Maybe. I can do that.
You could. No, anyway.
Don't you have his home number? You can't send him
his landline?
I'm pretty sure his landline. And we are all cowards and we'll never text him.
No.
What? You don't text Jimmy?
I don't.
No.
Come on. All right.
I didn't realize that was an option.
Send him nudes.
Big thanks to Pat. Really, Pat, you're awesome. Really glad to have you on the show, man. If
you
don't
Pat.
know who Pat Lapp is, you're a bozo for one. Go on YouTube and look up Pat Lapp. Go on Instagram. Go on to TikTok. He's a crazy person on TikTok. So go over on TikTok and check out Pat. It's a good time.
Everywhere.
Even if you are on IG and you're doing stories and you pull up a GIF, type in Pat Lapp. He's got his own GIFs, everybody.
He's winning the game. Now, I think one of my favorite all-time moments, and I think you guys took it down, was you and Paul at that playground.
No, we still have it.
Is it still up?
Oh,
I
yeah.
couldn't find it.
Yeah.
I was trying to show it to my buddy the other day, and it wasn't.
No,
is it on?
Yeah, it's on TikTok and on Instagram Reels.
TikTok. Okay.
Yeah.
It's on Reels. Oh, it was in your
Reels?
highlights. It was in your highlights for a long time, and I was trying to find that. That is one of my favorite things of all time. I love that video so much. You guys dead-eyed staring each other is the best ever. Anyway, big thank you to Pat. Thanks to everyone who shares the show. Keep sharing the show. We guys really appreciate you very much. Thanks for all the support you guys give us. So we'll be back.
Keep
next
us
week.
alive.
Yep, you keep the show alive. We're 109 in. We'll probably make it to 110. The show will be live for the patrons tomorrow.
It's very presumptuous.
The show will be live for everyone else. I know. I'm assuming a lot. The show will be live on Sunday for everyone. So get out there and share the show. And we'll talk to you guys next week. Have a great weekend and have a great week. Talk to you later. Bye now.
Bye.
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 It'll be a long time.